Hi, this is Dr. MJ coming to you from beautiful Boston, Massachusetts. This is the Women in Dentistry Podcast, where we feature women in dentistry making waves and leading the industry through the next decade. I am your host, Dr. Mary Jane Hanlon, a former dental assistant, dental hygienist, and now dentist. I am pleased to introduce you today to Ms. Vanessa Emerson. Vanessa is the founder of Dental Speaker Institute and the Dental Speakers Bureau. She is known as a thought leader by clients, prospects, and meeting planners and peers. Her marketing services are in high demand, specializing in speaker materials, website design, and email marketing services. Speaking and consulting dovetail. Most speakers offer consulting and mentoring services. A member of the Academy of Dental Management Consultants since 2013, Vanessa is honored to serve as co-chair of the Academy's marketing committee. Her Jumpstart Dental Meetings Professionals annual conference attract dental speakers, event planners, and sponsoring partners who come together to learn, network, and support each other in growing the dental meetings industry. Honored by Dental Products Report as one of the top 25 women in dentistry in 2017, Vanessa is known as the go-to resource for inside the dentistry information that helps meeting planners create better meetings, speakers acquire more bookings, and both to meet their business goals. She is frequently booked by dental organizations who would like to encourage their members to explore and expand their roles as speakers and consultants in dentistry. It is my pleasure now to bring you to my interview with Vanessa Emerson. Hey everyone, it's Dr. MJ. I am so excited to bring to you today Miss Vanessa Emerson. Vanessa and I met a couple of years ago at Jumpstart 2019 for the first time. I had spoken to her for many months before that, trying to work on my speaking brochure and developing my website, et cetera, which is her specialty. And believe it or not, she is one of the reasons why I have gotten to know so many amazing women in dentistry over the last year and a half, 2 years, because Vanessa is the connector. And I am going to let you share a little bit about your story, but I think by the time you finish sharing that, Vanessa, that people understand what I mean by the connector. So without any further ado, I would love it if you could share with us how you got into dentistry. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to our channel, and also don't forget to hit the bell so you never miss out on a single episode. Thanks so much.
Thank you. And thank you so much for inviting me. It's interesting that I didn't start out as a connector, but I do think that's what has developed. I fell into dentistry completely by accident. I used to work with a general surgeon. I probably never even told you this story. And had he not retired for the second time, I probably would still be working with him because I absolutely loved belly surgery. Is awesome. And we were in a small part of Arizona where, as his office manager, I was trained to come hold the laparoscopic instrument and be able to help him with belly surgeries. And that's pretty amazing. Surgery rocks. Anybody who's OMS out there listening gets that. But he retired for the second time, and I was looking for another general surgery office manager, practice administrator position, because I've always been somebody behind the scenes. It's kind of like being a mom, and I don't mean that in any way to call other employees children, but you know, like how as moms we kind of coordinate and really like pull everything together. That's something I'm good at, and so I've always been an office manager and like just wearing all the different hats in different industries. That was almost 20 years ago. It was 2001. So I was looking for a position with a general surgery center. I was even interviewing, and I happened across an ad in the paper back in the day when there were ads in the paper.
That was a while ago.
That was a while ago. And this person was looking for an assistant for a dental speaker and consultant. And I was like, what is that? And so I went, answered. The ad was, when she opened the door, I immediately knew I liked Catherine Eitel Belt. And luckily she hired me, and that's really how I just happened into dentistry. I knew nothing about it. She hired me to help her market her speaking and consulting and help her with her office. And we worked together for almost 12 years. A few years into that, she really encouraged me as her colleagues were asking, how are you guys finding success? And so she would encourage me to help them with their marketing and, just share what we were doing. And together, she and her colleagues said, you really should be coaching, or, they kind of encouraged me, that wind beneath my wings, they encouraged me to start my own part-time business. And so now here we are in 2020. In fact, almost like another week or so, I'm going to be in my 20th year helping dental speakers and consultants. And I can't believe it. Yeah, I just can't believe it. So the focus of what we do, would you like me to share that?
Yes, absolutely. But let me just go back for 1 second. It's so funny. I did not know that's how you and Catherine met. And that is an amazing story. Amazing.
She's one of my life's greatest teachers. For anyone who doesn't know Catherine Eitel-Belt, she's a lionspeak.net. She's one of the most graceful communicators, and she's just eloquent in her communication style. And I learned so much from her about business and about confidence and about stepping into who you are and embracing who you are and being comfortable with who you are. So she's just an amazing woman, and that was it was divine guidance, because I certainly wasn't looking to work in dental.
Absolutely, divine guidance. Absolutely. So share with our community what it is that you have expanded into and what you're doing now in dentistry.
We really started as a marketing firm with helping people who were speakers and or consultants, with helping them pull together their marketing materials. And it quickly grew into adding a directory, which has now become a directory and a bureau hybrid, which, well, if you think about like yellow pages and white pages, for anybody who's still familiar with that concept, but it's a website where meeting planners can come and look up someone by their name or by their topic. The bureau aspect of it just means that we'll take them by the hand and help them. They don't have to do it on their own. We'll help them be able to find the right fit speakers for their meetings. So we've always had the marketing. We took it to that next level of the bureau. And then what I'm most excited about right now is our Dental Speaker Institute. And there's a big focus on education there. You think about, in our industry, we have other academies and institutes that are focused on clinical skills. Well, it would be a similar thing for the speaker. It helps the speaker become better at what they do. In fact, MJ, I haven't had the chance to tell you yet, we're about to announce our fellowship.
Excellent. I'm so excited you finally finished that. Excellent.
Finally is the key word.
Well, I know it's been a journey, so I do know that aspect of it. And content development is quite a process, and because I know full well what it takes to develop content, and it's not easy. And starting something from scratch is never easy. So congratulations, that's a huge accomplishment.
Thank you. We're excited.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear more about it.
Thank you. Well, it will be out this summer. And we, as a group at Dental Speaker Institute, we have a faculty of almost 20 educators right now, which I think over time will grow to 30 or 40. And it's over 300 education hours. Plus, there's a component of what the person is doing in the industry as far as where they're speaking, and a certain number of meetings that has to be met to meet their criteria. And then at the end, there's an examination in front of a peer-reviewed, I guess, our faculty, I'm trying to think what the right term would be, but there's an examination at the end, a 30-minute speech before they can earn the fellowship designation. So we're really excited. There's nothing like it that we've seen in the industry.
No, I know there isn't. So congratulations. That is phenomenal. So, now that everyone knows about what it is that you're doing, I'd love for you to explain a little bit about what Jumpstart is, because that's, initially how you and I first met. Just go through what it is that Jumpstart does and how it tries to help support speakers in our industry. And for those of you that don't understand, if you have any desire to speak down the road, the person that you need to connect with, obviously, the connector is Vanessa. And, what she has done for a multitude of us in developing our websites and developing our speaker brochure is to help us get out of our head what it is that we have up here and put it down on paper and allow us to have a way of expressing what it is that we are passionate about and what we would like to teach about. So just to engage us a little bit more in talking about Jumpstart.
I love what I do. I just love working with dental professionals. Many of them are new to speaking and consulting. Some of my clients have been 40 years of speaking, but find that they are hitting a rut. They need to get, business started again. But I have found that many dental professionals get to a place in their career where they have something to share. They've been doing this for some time, no matter what this is, as office manager, as dentist, as hygienist, as whatever it is you do. And there's probably something that you're passionate about that if you could take the time to sit down and create a course, you could probably, if you're excited about infection control, you could teach a course on it. I think that for all of us, if we love our work, we find something we're really passionate about. I know, MJ, that you have definitely been passionate about the business side of dentistry and leadership, and we all are super passionate about something. So for me, I've grown into this passion of loving to help speakers become speakers. And ultimately, for most people who speak in dental, it's because they're wanting to be able to grow a consulting business. Those are tied really closely. And what I'd love to do, I actually have a copy of my book. It's the proof. It's been sitting here for a while, but So You Think You Want to Speak in Dentistry. If anybody would like a copy, it's just this little quick primer. You don't have to buy it on Amazon. I'll just give it to you. If you just shoot me an email, info@thedentalspeaker.com, I'd be happy to share it with you. And that will help you understand what to do to get started at the foundational level. Now, Jumpstart, that you asked me about, MJ, is not really for brand new speakers. It's for people who are at least know they have a niche. They've done some work. They've already done a business plan. They already are at least rolling. But for those people who are anywhere from a developing speaker through a master, Jumpstart brings education that is it meets all of those levels. We have some members that have been 30 to 40 years of speaking that are coming and learning each year. We definitely have a lot of the newer speakers, anywhere from, getting started to 3 to 5 years on that earlier end. And so Jumpstart is really about getting together to network, but mostly to learn. It's 3.5 days of education. We also invite event planners and sponsoring partners to join us. And my ultimate vision for Jumpstart is to be a meetings professionals gathering, where I would like to see even more event planners and even more sponsoring partners be there with us, so that I feel like we have such an opportunity to shape our industry. Our industry's been, like the world kind of shook up and tossed on its head for a minute with COVID, right? Everything's changed. And so I'm really excited for our next conference, which is in January, early January 6th through 9th. I'm really excited for that opportunity for us to come together, a couple hundred people in a ballroom, to be able to talk about what has been working, what hasn't been working, where do we want to go, and together shape our industry in a way that helps each other meet our goals.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. So I'm so looking forward to it. Are you going to do the fellowship outside of Jumpstart then? Because that, in and of itself, that's a long 3-day program.
Here's the way to distinguish that in your mind. Dental Speaker Institute is the fellowship.
Okay.
It may be a mastership at some point, but the institute itself is this educational program. So Dental Speaker Institute sponsors Jumpstart, and there will be other meetings that we start sponsoring in 2021. We'll have more smaller weekend lab type experiences where you can come and learn about a certain part of the journey as a speaker. But ultimately, it's an education course at its core, and what the Institute really is this. It's there's not an address and a street where you can go to a building. It's really more this idea of the fellowship.
Oh, very exciting. Congratulations, Vanessa. I'm really excited to see this expansion and to see you keep moving forward. Really excited. So, as one of the things that one of my goals for the Women in Dentistry podcast is to help others in the world of dentistry, to inspire them and to maybe do something more, do something different with their careers that they might want to do, and while still staying in dentistry. And so your venue gives them that opportunity, and I'm really excited to support you in that venture, because I can't thank you enough myself personally for the ability to interact with all these amazing people, male and female, across the country that I have been able to meet because of the Institute. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for that. But, I think we need to get a little bit more personal on this. And so I'd like to start to ask you a couple of questions, if you don't mind. What do you think is the single best piece of advice that you have ever been given in your career?
As I think about your audience and what I might be able to share to help them, I don't know that it was even advice that someone gave me, but advice that something I've learned that I had to step into and put on and wear like a new coat, that you are enough. You are enough right where you are. You don't have to prove yourself to anybody. Just listen to your heart. And I feel myself getting a little emotional because I think this whole jumpstart and the fellowship and so much that's come to me in my life in dental has been because I answered an ad in the paper, and then I just followed my gut. And I would encourage you, wherever you are and whatever you're passionate about and whatever you want to create for your life, one thing would be sure you have a life vision, not a business vision, a life vision. Like, what do you want to do day after day after day in your life so that you can be sure you're driving the bus toward that? And then just get quiet and lean into your gut. And, I think as children, I think most of us probably were taught about right and wrong, and our parents try to instill values and character and, a guiding, a GPS system for us, right? Whether that came from church and home or what. But when we tap into that gut or our heart and we lean into what feels right, and then especially what makes us excited, just know that dentistry, oh man, if you're newer to dentistry, if you've been in dentistry very long, you know this, but dentistry is like where it's going on. We have attracted the most amazing people in dental. And I have found that by and large, most of them are giving and loving. And it's a unique individual that is attracted to dentistry. I don't know why, and I've worked in other industries. It's just, would you agree, MJ? I feel like
without a doubt, across the board, industry professionals, dentists, assistants, hygienists, it doesn't matter where you are in this field. It's just an amazing field. And no more has it been as prevalent as in the last 10 weeks during this COVID crisis pandemic, that we have seen the coming together of more and more industry leaders helping one another, doing things for free just to support one another. Yes. Give me here's the information that I've been working on. Please use it. Do whatever you want with it so that maybe it will help you. I mean, just amazing collaboration. And I think that's the one word that I have been really focused on this year is collaboration. And I see that more in dentistry than any other industry ever.
I love that. And thank you, because that's exactly the point I'm wanting to make, is that I think when we lean into what we feel passionate about and what we feel is right, our next right step, we have to know where we want to go in our life, but we don't have to know the exact next step in business. We just need to lean into it and follow our heart, because in dental, you're going to find that people want to help. I have found the reason I'm at where I'm at in my career is not because I'm so awesome. It's because I have really amazing colleagues and friends that help lift me up. I mean, I could give you example after example after example of where I just would share with someone what I'm thinking and they would connect me with the right person. And that's part of why I'm so passionate about connecting others. But I just want to encourage your listeners, no matter what it is they're wanting to do in dental, like where they're wanting to take their career, just know that if you feel strongly about it, then that's your clue that that's the right step for you, at least for the next step. And just lean into it and allow it to unfold.
Yeah. I can't agree with you more on that piece of advice. And I think that the only thing I would add is that you can do this. And if you cannot stop thinking about it, if it keeps haunting you, like this idea for this podcast did, I kept saying, oh no, there's got to be somebody that's doing it. Oh no, I'm not going to research it. Somebody already has figured this out. It just kept bugging me and bugging me and bugging me. And finally, I did the research and found that nobody was doing this. And I said, okay, that's a sign. I got to do this, so that if it's that nudge, that universal nudge that just keeps tapping you on the shoulder saying, hey, bozo, I'm telling you, do this. If you keep getting that, pay attention, because that's your instinct saying, okay, this is where we want you to think about going. You don't have to go there, but here's your choice and your opportunity. And sometimes opportunity knocks us over the head and we still don't pay attention. And I think that's the big piece of advice, is to pay attention to what you keep getting in your mind as an idea, because that usually is the right way to go.
I 100% agree. And I think too, when we get knocked on the head, instead of saying, oh, don't hit me in the head, like COVID, if instead we can say, what's the opportunity here? I've been hit in the head. What's the opportunity here?
Always, always, always. And I actually, maybe we can speak about this more later, but there has been so many silver linings with this whole pandemic that, I am very thankful for it. And I know many of my colleagues have expressed the same thing. So, it is an opportunity, and there is a lot of things that we can do, even when it seems to be an obstacle. It's just dressed as an obstacle. It is an opportunity, no matter which way you look at it.
Yeah.
What do you think helped you most to get where you are today? Is it just the colleagues that you've been fortunate enough to meet, or do you think that there are other things that have contributed to your success?
Oh, for sure, right? We're all a stew. We're not just one hunk of meat on a plate. We're like the stew that has all the different ingredients.
That's a really great way to explain it, Vanessa. Good for you.
I always think about food, but really, really, there's so many things. Like, you can go back to childhood. I was raised on a farm. My work ethic, I think, is very specific because of what we had to do as kids, and I grew to love work. And I think because I really like to work, I have put a lot of hours in, and certainly that has helped. But beyond that, if I look at, besides me and the makeup of who I am and whatever talent I might bring, I want to say too, I don't have a college degree. I think that's worth noting, like where I'm at in my career and the success I've been able to find. I'm not in any way knocking a college degree, but I have talked to people over the years that felt like they were less than because they didn't have the same credential as someone else. And I just want to point out that that's our inner voice, not an outside world necessarily. And a lot of things you can create in your own life as far as a business and stuff. Don't let that inner voice hold you back. Instead, lean into it and really, really run with it. But, if there was one overall thing that has helped my business grow more than any other, it's coaching. Having the right coach. I've had multiple coaches. And in fact, I keep looking down because I've got this cat under my feet. And I don't want to step on him because you'll hear that. And plus, it probably wouldn't feel good. But I've had multiple coaches over the years. And right now I have 3 coaches. And for different things. But on the business coaching, to find the right business coach, my business in the last 4 years that I've been working with Mark LeBlanc, who helps a lot of speakers and consultants, my production has nearly tripled in the last 4 years. I mean, that's like, as a dentist, the dental practice, we look at that and go, whoa, like, I like that consultant. I want that person coming back. So I think it's the same for us, no matter what we're doing professionally, to lean into someone else who has already been there and done that and listen to their advice and be a good student. Listen to your gut, because not everything that my coaches suggest to me do I do, but I find that, but when it feels right, I find that it has really helped me. It's those outside eyes in the business that Chuck Blakeman would say, right? It's so important to have Chuck Blakeman, author of Making Money is Killing Your Business, which is a great book for dentists, for every
The book
entrepreneur.
that you introduced me to and led me down the path to connect with him. And he's been to my study groups, been to the school, and on behalf of the students has spoken in depth about different principles, and love his concepts. Love that book. Absolutely love it.
It's my favorite business book. I've read it probably at least 4 times. I listened on Audible probably 3 times. It's really that good. Yeah. But outside eyes on the business, I think, is really helpful for us, no matter who we are, what we do in our businesses, to have someone else who can guide us, that has this track record.
Well, and expertise too, right? We all can be really brilliant, but we can't be brilliant at everything. And you have to recognize, it's kind of like for a dentist, I chose not to do oral surgery because I'm not an expert in oral surgery. I didn't spend the time doing that, and nor do I feel comfortable doing that. I didn't do molar endos because I'd rather send that out. So I realize that I'm not an expert in different areas, but there are things that I am very good at. Those things I concentrate on. But I would get a referral to somebody else for those other things. And coaching is kind of like that, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. With the idea that that when we reach out, they then turn their attention to our business and help us grow in those areas. So yeah, I think that would be my big overall one. That would be something that others could emulate, would be just the importance of working with a coach.
Great advice. Thank you so much. Who do you think has had the biggest impact on your life? You've mentioned a couple of different people. Is there anyone in particular that has had most impact on you as a person? And then maybe separately you as a business?
Well, as a business, that's the easy one, because it's definitely Catherine. She's like a sister to me, and it's because, we've had lots of years working together, and without her hiring me, without me looking at that ad, I just look at that MJ sometimes. I think 20 years later, where would I be? What would I be doing? I'd probably still be an office manager in a general surgery practice, which I probably would love, but my horizon has expanded by 100, because now I can do what I want as an entrepreneur. I just love that. On the personal side, oh my gosh, it's hard there's so many people that have had a big impact on me. One person that's really affected me as an individual is the person that I used to work with, the surgeon. His name was Dr. Rudge Hyatt. He's since passed, and really beloved general surgeon here in the Phoenix area in the East Valley for his entire career. And one of the best men, and get me all emotional, one of the best men I've ever known. I think what it is about him that really impacted me is I never, in all the years I worked with him, I never heard him utter a negative word. Never. And I'm like, I think he's a little bit superhuman, a little bit angelic in that regard, and I knew him really well. And that just really impressed me, that he was so kind. And even when others would try to get him to go there, he would always have a response on the positive. And I think that's lacking in our world. I see, especially in the age of social media, and it's so easy to shame people when we don't even know them. It's like we see examples of this. It's hard it hurts me in my belly, it hurts me in my heart when I see how people can be so mean to each other, people that they don't even know. And I think about somebody like him who his whole life, I don't know his whole life, but all the years I was with him, and I can't imagine it just started then, that I've never heard him say a disparaging word, and worked with him, 4 to 5 days a week for years.
Isn't that amazing? A special person.
Great character, really great character. And I would like to, I think about character, and I would like to be more like that word character, what that even means. And I think as leaders, we have to think about our actions and what we say, and it really, not from the standpoint, just so that the mark we leave is the mark that we want to leave, not so much even so that, you're not trying to get something from that, but the person you want to be. I mean, that's a leader to me, is someone with great character.
Well, and isn't it so true that it's more about how people perceive you as a person rather than, what your perception of yourself is. So you may perceive yourself as a giving, kind person. However, your actions may speak differently to others. And I think it's more that the actions have to align with what we say, think, and do. And I think that's what tells the story.
That's like brand in the marketing world, right? So our brand lies in the hearts and minds and thoughts of those who consume our services or who are considering that, even though we might think our brand is one thing. I think it's this, I just never had thought about that till now. Thank you for that. I'm gonna ruminate on that a little bit. I like that.
Good, good, good. So what do you think is the biggest obstacle that you have overcome that you're most proud of?
I think it's that. It's about feeling comfortable with, MJ, I'm just a country girl who got lucky in a lot of ways and who has a good work ethic and has really good friends and who got good coaching and all these things. But in a lot of ways, I'm pretty lucky where I ended up. I'm a cat lady. I mean, you can tell I'm quirky. I'm weird. I think I'm fun, but I'm not, I think people can get real judgy if they want to be, but I think it's about getting to the point where that doesn't matter. Like, be you, bring you, be happy, be kind, and the people will just flock to want to be around that energy. And that's been, to me, I think one of my greatest blessings, as well as something I can look back now and go, I wasn't very confident when I was younger. And even probably into my 30s, I was kind of judging me against other people, and I was maybe not enough. But somehow along the line, and I really do think, honestly, I've got really great friends. It's about, I saw a quote on social media today. It said something about look at the friends you hang with, and that's who you're going to be in a few years. And I thought that I was lucky.
You're okay with that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I do think that's a really valid point because, as gaining confidence is something that I want to inspire our audience to grab a hold of by telling them stories of other women that may have done or accomplished something that they aspire to do. So, overcoming that, even though you didn't have the confidence as a young woman and doing it anyway, that's inspirational, right? That's a major accomplishment. And, I often wonder why we have so many women with self-worth issues. That makes me cry and sad. And, what is it? I mean, I myself suffered the same thing as a young woman. I can remember going through this very affluent town that my dad was a teacher in, but we would never go there because only the rich people shop there. And I remember reflecting back on that after dental school and thinking, why would I think that as a kid? What led me to think that way? It wasn't like my mom or dad ever said you can't shop there. It wasn't like, or go there or be in that town but that was absolutely my memory of driving through that area was, oh my gosh, I can't ever come here because I'm not good enough or not, can't make enough money ever in my entire life to possibly shop here. And it just made me sad to reflect back on that. And I do wonder, I think it's environmental. I do think it's how we grow up. And I hope that many of the young women that are becoming moms today really take this to heart and find ways to not overprotect or over puff up their children, but give them the tools to get confidence at a young age. Because I think the sooner we gain confidence in our ability, the better.
I agree with you. And I think it's kind of a tricky one, as having raised my own kids, I know you have, and I think it back to what would I have done different? And I think it's just somewhere along the line, and I'm sure it was a combination of home and school and church and all the different leaders and the different messages. But I think what's important for us as we raise our children is to instill in their minds so that it's like you have to figure that out on your own self. Somebody can't do that for you. And I really didn't have a reason to, and it's not that I was super unconfident or super shy, but there was always that element of a little self-doubt. And I think that's healthy too. I mean, it's about finding the right balance and really feeling comfortable with who you are, and because we're all so unique and different. And maybe it depends on where we grow up too. Entirely small town in the country versus in a big place with a lot of people. And I don't know, I'm probably kind of rambling on this, but I think there is something there about us helping our children, but ultimately giving them the tools so that they can figure it out at the right time for them.
Exactly. And I think too, not solving all the problems, right?
Yes.
Giving them the ability to take a problem, analyze it, figure out the first step that they need to take to solve that problem, whatever the case may be. Because I think that when we learn how to take these small incremental steps, if we just do one step a day, that's it. You don't have to do a lot, but one step a day has the cumulative effect of a major storm at the other side, right? That you collectively put those steps together and you can run a marathon, you can accomplish a huge, tremendous amount of goals in a time frame. It may not be the shortest time frame. It doesn't matter how long it takes. It's just a matter of getting there, right? Is there anyone in dentistry today who inspires you to do what you do?
Oh my gosh, there's a lot of people, some that we've mentioned, but certainly the faculty members that we work with for Dental Speaker Institute, and there's close to 20 there that are speaker development coaches. That's their focus, is to help other speakers grow around their presentation skills or the content development, or in different areas of different types of marketing. Certainly they inspire me. Somebody who I feel is just really a bright light is Ann Duffy with Dental Entrepreneur Women, which is something that would be of interest to your readers as well if they don't know.
We've already done that.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, we had a great time together.
She's like my Dr. Hyatt. She's somebody who's a very special individual in dental, and we're so lucky to have her, and her leans so brightly into helping empower others. There are too many. There's too many to list them all. Over the years, I've worked with over 500 speakers and helping them with their materials. And I could sit down and I could just start looking through my QuickBooks to remind me of all the names and tell you, oh, this was so great about each of these people. I mean, what really inspires me is that they come at this life through wherever they came from, that background, to become a hygienist or an assistant or a doctor or an office manager, or whatever they do. And they feel so pulled to make a difference in dentistry. That really inspires me. They really want to see patients healthier and have better lives. And they believe so strongly that it's possible that you can't not be inspired to be around. And there are thousands of speakers in dentistry. I don't know if you know the current number. I had heard a year or two back there was 1.5 million dental professionals in North America, something like that. We're a huge industry, and we have thousands of speakers and consultants. But when you compare that to 1.5 million dental professionals, you think about how many patients that is. Well, it's going to be hundreds of millions. Yeah.
The whole country, right? Because it's everybody, somebody has, there's very few people, I think, in this country that don't have a dentist or don't have easy enough access to a dentist. I think it's the opposite, that there's more than enough dentists to go around and dental offices to provide great service. So, yeah, you're right. It is a huge industry, huge industry. What would be one thing that people would be surprised to know about you?
I thought I had a black belt in Taekwondo.
Oh, that's a good one. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
That's the one I pull out of my hip pocket. It's been a while. But when our kids were younger, all four of us, when we were still out in California, we were involved in Taekwondo for several years. My kids earned almost their second degree, but I have a first degree black belt in Taekwondo. And it was, oh my gosh, so much fun. It was a great workout.
I bet. Oh my gosh, that's pretty exciting. This is an interesting question, and people get, either stumped or can think of a million of them. Have you had an aha moment when you realized that you were doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing?
Oh, I get them all the time.
I knew you'd say that.
It's that gut thing again. It's that checking into your gut. One of my favorite quotes is from a spiritual teacher, and it always kind of cracks me up. Can I say a cuss word on this?
Sure. I don't think the audience would mind. I don't think so.
But it always makes me chuckle because she's a spiritual leader, and because she said about, when you're trying to determine, and you have a challenge you're trying to work through and you're trying to figure out what's my next step. When you check into your gut, if it's not for now, a hell yes. Consider it for now, a hell no. And to answer to your question, I can't tell you how often I think hell yes. I want to check into my gut. I'm like, I'm so lucky because I didn't set out to work in dental. I landed in the best place in the world, working with some of the best people in the world, doing some of the most fun stuff in the world, and being able to meet so many awesome people every day so it's for me probably an aha practically every day.
Unbelievable. I knew you were going to say that because either people have to really think about it or they have a million of those expressions every day. And I have to agree with you. I have several, hundreds of them a month. So I know I'm exactly where I need to be. And just one other thing, when you said check into your brain that's in the stomach, those words are very true. And I don't know if you know this or not, but I've been studying a little bit about epigenetics. And if you don't know much about the topic, just do a Google search on that and you should be able to find a little bit. But fascinating topic. And the brain is not the only brain that we have. The gut does have a complete independent brain system, and that's why we feel so much in the gut. In addition, the heart also, because we feel so much in the heart, via the heart. When the heart is happy and heart is singing, you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. When your gut is giving you the butterflies, yeah, that's the hell yeah. And, when it's kind of giving you that nauseous feeling, that's the, oh yeah, hell no. So it's interesting that you brought that up because I've been doing a fair amount of study on that. And I love the fact that you described it that way as a brain, because I do think we do have 3 different brains in our systems. And if we just listen to it, it will direct our traffic in our day-to-day activities without a doubt.
No one's ever said, I thought about doing it. I checked into my gut. It said yes. And I did it anyway. And boy, am I sorry. It's like, have you ever had that? But it's more like I checked in, I knew I shouldn't, I did it anyway.
And that's when it went bad, right?
Yeah.
So what's your favorite way to relieve stress?
I love to hike and to walk. I love cats. We are heavily involved in cat rescue. I don't think I'm completely crazy cat lady, curler in the hair and moo moo walking around the neighborhood. But, I really love animals. And so we're pretty involved in rescue. So we do some things around here with our animals to take care of them. But for me, I love to exercise, and especially we're in Phoenix. And so we've got great hiking trails, and I walk every morning. I'm right now, my Fitbit's keeping me at 12,000 steps a day. So before I go to bed at night, I'm trying to get my 12,000 steps in. And it's a great way to process.
Oh, without a doubt. I love walking. I find it's one of the best ways to clear your head and a joyful way to be outside, especially on a gorgeous sunny day. I know it's probably sunny in Arizona. It is also sunny in Maine, where I am today. It's just amazing. I love just being outside in that sun and just seeing the beauty of this world just naturally occurring every single day.
It's good for us.
Exactly. Do you have a personal mantra or motto that you live by?
Probably a sarcastic, funny one, but not a serious one. I love sarcasm, so I could come up with some fun. But, it probably something I've said previously, like something about checking in with your gut or something, because I really do think about that a lot. Not really.
No. Okay.
Not that I can really think of.
How about a secret dream or a guilty pleasure that you like to participate in once in a while that you'd like to share with the audience?
Well, my dream, and it's not secret as much as it really is my big lifetime goal that I think about a lot, is I really want to be part of a solution here in the Phoenix area for these cats. The reason we're so involved in cat rescue is because there's over 250,000, over 250,000 cats in our neighborhoods. I mean, just think about how many cats that is. I mean, right now in my neighborhood, I got 7 or 8 I'm trying to catch and trap and neuter and spay. And I mean, it never ends. We've been doing this for 8 years, and we've helped like 60 cats in the last 8 years with getting them to rescue and all that. But there's a limit to what I can do right now with where I'm at in my life and with my resources. So my big dream is I want to be able to be part of a team that creates an outdoor cat rescue where we can help thousands at once. And it's totally possible. You can look around for examples in Fresno. There's Cat House on the Kings, where she helps over like 1,200 cats at a time. They've rescued, I think it was 40,000 cats over the years. Lanai, on the island of Lanai in Hawaii, they have an outdoor rescue. So my big personal thing that I would love to accomplish, and a big reason why I do what I do with my business and why I push it to grow it, is because I want to have those resources to be able to step away from my business to some degree, and not work in it as much eventually, and to be able to spend more time in rescue. Animals are amazing, so, and I love people, but animals are just pretty awesome.
Well, what is so great about animals is that unconditional love that they give no matter what. I mean, they don't care if you're having a bad day. They're not having a bad day. They're going to give you love no matter whether you do something mean to them or not. They just love the companionship, and they just love you no matter what. I just love that about animals.
And I feel like the cats didn't ask to be born outside. Like we don't have dogs just roaming the streets, but cats, for whatever reason, it's a little different story. So I feel like there's more we can do as stewards of this planet to help curb that situation.
Let's go to a little bit on the business side. Since marketing is one of your areas of expertise, people always, especially with social media and everything that we're all doing to, spread the word about whatever it is that we are passionate about. Has there been one marketing idea that you have used that has been extremely successful that you'd like to share with the audience?
Sure. Everything's marketing, right? So everything we do, like even this, what we're doing right now, is really marketing for me and for you. I mean, ultimately at its core, speaking is a marketing activity. Everything's marketing. It hit me today that even the news media is marketing, and they're selling something. It's like marketing is everywhere. So when you're wanting to grow your business, what I found for speakers and consultants, and I can't speak to marketing a dental practice, it's just not what I do. There's some great experts who could. But for a speaking and consulting business, the very best way that you can market your services is by ultimately giving it away, by podcasting and helping people know what to do, by doing webinars where you help people know what to do. It's just a mistake I see speakers and consultants make is they like dangle a carrot, but they don't really give you the nugget. So it's like, help people know what to do. They'll see you as the expert. It makes me think about years ago, my husband, and I totally love my husband, and he and I are both not very mechanically inclined. I'm just sorry, sweetheart, but it's true. And when we had our first house, it was a fixer-upper, and which was not a good idea in retrospect, but we had to change out a garbage disposal. And I'm not kidding, it took us like 5 hours, and it should not have taken that long to just figure out how to take that thing up, put the other one on, and plug it in. And I think about that a lot. If it's like showing someone how to change out the garbage disposal, by the time the plumber would have showed me, I would have said, "Can I just pay you to do it?" And I find that for speakers and consultants, if we can just show people what they need to do, a lot of times it helps them. They could go try it on their own. They could go maybe do it on their own. But ultimately, they're going to see that you're the expert that knows how to put in the garbage disposal. And in the long run, let me just bring her in to work with my team. Let me just hire him to come speak for our meeting. We cannot be jacks of all trades. Like for me, home repair, that kind of stuff is not my gift. So I would encourage our speakers to think about that too. Share what is your gift. And there's going to be a lot of people out there where it's not their gift and they're looking for you.
Outstanding advice. I agree wholeheartedly. Share your expertise on the things that you're good at, but hire out the things that you're not so good at, because you don't have the time and you don't have the energy, and it's too much of a waste of your time to sink in the effort and to figure it out. Exactly. Well, if you want, please share with everyone. You've shared your email address, info@Vanessa, the dentalspeakerinstitute.com, and they can find you there. They can also find you at the Dental Bureau, dentalspeakerbureau.com.
So it's confusing because I've got 3 and they're similar. So the best place to go is the Dental Speaker, not Dental Speaker, but the dentalspeaker.com. And that's kind of like the mothership. And from there in the menu, you'll see the Bureau and the Institute, or dentalspeakersbureau.com, dentalspeakerinstitute.com. The best email is info@thedentalspeaker.com. Will come right to me. I mean, they all do, but that's the easy one to remember. And if anybody is interested in doing more with speaking, my favorite thing to do is to help speakers look at their existing business or a new business for them and come up with a plan and help them know the next steps. I have a lot of awesome colleagues that we've been talking about here that work in this arena. So depending on where you're at, if you're looking for help with certain things, I'd be happy to help connect you with the people that can help you take that next step and really grow your business.
Well, and I will say from personal experience, everyone, that Vanessa did an outstanding job. All of my website, drmjhanlon.com, is all of her beautiful work. My brochure is her beautiful work. So I can't say enough about the high quality of the workmanship and the ability to work together collegially. It was an outstanding experience for me. So firsthand, I know personally that I can highly recommend anybody that wants to speak to come and see Vanessa.
Thank you. We have a great team, and thank you so much, MJ. I'm glad you're thrilled. It was really fun working with you, and thank you so much for honoring me and bringing me on here today. This is a lot of fun.
It was great. It was great speaking with you and great sharing some time. So thank you so much for your time, Vanessa. Thank you so much for listening to the Women in Dentistry podcast with Dr. MJ Hanlon. If you like our show and want to know more about us, check out our website, thewomenindentistry.com, or please leave us a review on iTunes. Join us for our next episode as we bring you another amazing woman leading the way for the next generation.